Mistakes parents make in care proceedings. What parents should do after a fact-finding hearing. This video is significant because it could change outcomes. I want to share with you my thought as a practicing specialist solicitor, the mistakes parents make and why some parents lose custody of their children after a fact-finding hearing in a care proceedings, when children should have possibly returned back to the care of their parents. Welcome to my channel, The Family Law Nugget. My name as usual is Chris Aniche. I'm a specialist accredited panel solicitor, a family law accredited, a children's law accredited, and resolution specialist solicitor, and of course a solicitor's advocate. Today's video is about mistakes. Yes, mistakes parents make after fact-finding hearing and why parents get it wrong, and instead what they should do is after a fact-finding hearing. I will start first with defining what a fact-finding hearing is. A fact-finding hearing is basically a court hearing in which a judge decides whether a certain event or fact occurred by hearing evidence from the parents, witness, professionals, or other people involved in the case. For instance, if the issue the court needs to decide in a fact-finding hearing is whether the following happened, maybe for example, whether the father or mother slapped the child, or whether there was domestic violence in a relationship that affected the child, or whether the mother left the child at home for numbers of hours unattended, or even whether the child or the children were emotionally abused, or whether the child was not well supervised at home. If the child was exposed to significant emotional abuse, all of these issues will have a linkage to the fact whether the child suffered or was at risk of suffering significant harm in the care of the mother or the father or the caregiver, as the case may be. So, following a fact-finding hearing, the court makes a factual finding against a parent in its judgment. That is, the judge will say if one or more of the allegations made, or for instance, if the father slapped the child, the decision of the court will be on the basis of a balance of probability. When such findings are made, irrespective of the numbers of findings the court makes at that hearing, the parents must now desist from making the second mistake. Already, the first mistake is the finding of which the court has said the parents has done. The second mistake now is when the parents is not accepting the findings of the court after the court has said it has happened, by continuing to deny or refusing to accept that finding. Instead of the parents continuing to say, listen, that they did not do anything wrong, the parents should put up their hands and admit, period. Yes, you should at that stage admit that you have done so. By this, parents must now start to begin to demonstrate insight by doing what is right, which is accepting the court's finding in a situation where the parents have chosen not to appeal that decision of the court. Parents should now deeply reflect on the judgment made by the court before coming out with a candid version of what happened. Yes, with what happened that led to the care proceeding or the fact-finding hearing, especially if the parents were previously in denial. The worst thing a parent can do at this stage is to reject the court's ruling or the court's finding by believing that if they continue in their deniance or in their path, it will help their case. No. It certainly will not. Note, please keep in mind that you are not assisting your case in any way. When a judge makes a fact-finding decision, it is presumed to be correct and final until or unless it is successfully appealed. If not, it is accepted as the truth of what occurred, despite the judge was not present when the actual situation occurred. Remember, there is no need to be defensive. It is not about you, but what is in the best interest of your child. When a parent admits they have gone wrong, they are seen by the court and professionals to be showing insight. The definition of insight is the ability to comprehend accurately and deeply someone or something. In this case, an understanding of what occurred, their actions or inactions as parents, and how it affected this child. Parents must indeed show remorse and determination to do the right thing in future to avoid a repeat of that sort of situation in the event that this child is rehabilitated to them. One of the ways they can do this is by requesting for the requisite support to help them address the situation or the concern. They must also need to understand the link between their action and the harm done to the child. For example, if the parents in this case slapped or physically assaulted this child, he or she must demonstrate how the physical abuse affected this child, not only physically but emotionally. And the parents must be able to wear the child's glasses, that is, putting themselves in the child's position by seeing how the child would have seen that impact and the impact on how the impact affected the child and how the child felt at that time. Indeed, parents must need some form of support to address some of those issues. Only if they have admitted their role in the issues or in the concerns, and only that way can they be given the opportunity to right their wrong. The parent should always think about the child, not himself or herself, as the court is primarily concerned with the child's best interest and not that of the adults and the parents. The understanding, and parents need to also show understanding of safeguarding. When the parents has done this, they can then use this opportunity to ask for assistance in addressing the concerns or the issues. For instance, if the problem with the parents was physical violence, provided this issue of maybe anger problem can be addressed within the time limit of the care proceeding, which is usually 26 weeks, or maybe slightly longer, the parents may be given a second chance to care for their child. The court wants to always see genuine change from the parents. Please note, if the situation can be resolved quickly, there should be no reason why the children or the child cannot return back to the care of their parents, most especially if it's safe to do so. I hope this video helped you to understand what you need to do after a fact-finding hearing is made against you or against the parents, and how the parents should ideally respond. Please like, share, and subscribe. My name again is Chris Aniche, Collymore Solicitor here in London. Thank you.